Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is basically Brandon. So I know it's been a few days since I have been on YouTube. Actually, I think it's a little bit over a week since I've been on YouTube. But things have kind of been a little bit crazy with my real work and just some things that have been going on. But anyways, tonight I've got a couple new crafts. In fact, I know typically I do 2 crafts. Tonight I'm going to do 3 crafts. And one of them I am super excited about. One of the things that I wanted to do tonight was to show you guys how to make like a cutting board or a trivet that has like a family recipe or someone's handwriting on it. And so with this, it's just one of those things that, like, as long as you have the recipe in their handwriting, you can make a copy of it, then you can put it on the back of this trivet. And you'll see that here in a few minutes. It's going to be the second craft that we do tonight, I think. And it is just, it's really cool. I think I'm going to give mine to my mom. I have all of my grandmother's recipes. She passed away about 4.5 years ago, almost 5 years now. I just have every single one of her recipes, and I decided to put one on the back of a trivet tonight. And it can be used as a trivet, it can be used as a cutting board. It actually says that it's a cutting board. It's from the Dollar Tree. It only ran me $1 to make. One of the other crafts that I did tonight, it only ran me $2 to make, and it's a little windmill, a little signage that has a windmill on it. It has established 2018 and my last name on it. And then the other one's going to be a tobacco lighter that only ran about $4. So we'll just jump right on into it, and I hope you guys enjoy these crafts. So to begin tonight's project, we're going to make a little tobacco stick ladder using these 3 garden stakes from the Dollar General, which are 3 foot long. This little pick, some apple barrel, chocolate bar paint, and then some jute cord. Now for one of these 3 foot stakes, I ended up doing every 7 inches a notch so that way I can make the little rungs of the ladder. You can see what I'm doing in the video here, and you can follow along if you want to. You can make it longer if you want, you can make shorter if you want. It depends on how you want it to look, but I chose 7 inches. And then once I had done it, I took a hacksaw from the Dollar Tree and just sawed it down at about 7 inches, and you can see that here in a second. Next, I'm taking the apple barrel chocolate bar paint and just mixing it into water in this mason jar, and I'm using it kind of like a stain. Rather than actually getting a stain out, I'm just doing this as a little bit quicker. It can dry up a little bit quicker as well. And so I'm just taking it and spreading it across all of the wood of the ladder. Once your ladder is dry, I'm just taking a hot glue gun and I'm attaching the rungs to one side of the ladder, and then I'm going to flip it over and attach the other side. Now I'm going to reinforce it with this jute cord. So I know hot glue, if you have like E6000, will probably work a little bit better. Hot glue is not necessarily the best for this, but I knew that I was going to be reinforcing it with the jute cord, so I just went ahead with the hot glue. Next, we're going to take this jute cord and we're going to kind of crisscross it around each rung of this ladder. So you can see that I'm doing this one rung right now. You're going to do it 8 times total because you'll do it in each one of the corners. And you can kind of just follow along with how I'm crisscrossing it along with each corner. So this is what your ladder looks like so far. It's really cute, but I wanted to go ahead and add just a little wreath to the top of it. So you can see that I'm taking the stems of this pick and I'm just going to create kind of a circle with it using hot glue. Rather than actually creating a wreath and attaching it to it, I'm just hot gluing it directly to the ladder. And you can see what I'm doing here.
finish the wreath, you are done. And this is a cute little ladder. You can use it to display dish towels. You can use it to just kind of display as decoration, whatever you want to do with it. But it only ran me $4 to create, so I was really happy with that. Now this next project is probably one of my favorites that I've ever done, just for sentimental value. It only ran me $1 to create, and I just needed Mod Podge, which I had on hand. I had printed out a recipe of my grandmother's, which was her peanut butter fudge, and then this little glass trivet cutting board from the Dollar Tree. So to start this, you're just going to open up the trivet, the cutting board, whatever it is from the Dollar Tree. I think it actually said it's a cutting board, and take the little silicone bottom pieces off of it once you get it out of the plastic wrapper. So once you have the silicone pieces off of it, just take the trivet and put it directly onto your piece of paper that has your recipe on it, and just trace the outline of the trivet on it. So next you're just going to go ahead and cut it out, and this next part is a little bit optional. If you like the way that it looks white, you can just leave it as is, but I wanted to make it look a little bit more rustic, a little bit more old-timey, so I took a little bit of the coffee that we had from the day and just poured it directly onto the piece of paper just to stain it a little bit and make it look a little bit more old. Now once you finish with this stain, if you chose to do that, then you're going to let it dry, and then you'll take Mod Podge and apply it directly to the smooth side of the trivet cutting board, not the grooved side, because this cutting board is kind of grooved. And then you're going to attach the back. The back side will be facing up, if that makes sense. You can follow along in the video if I'm making sense, but you'll want the words to go where you can see it through the grooved side, if that makes sense. And then once you apply that Mod Podge and let it dry, then you're going to go ahead and apply it to the back of it again. You may need to apply 2 coats of that just to kind of get it a little bit sealed up. Now once the Mod Podge is dry, just go ahead and attach your silicone pieces back to the bottom of it, and then you can use it as a cutting board, you can use it as a trivet, but at that point you will be done. And it ended up being such a cool little piece. It's sentimental to me because it does have my grandmother's handwriting and her recipe on it, and you can put whatever you want. If you want to put photos, if you want to put handwriting, recipes, whatever you can put on it. I just really like the idea of putting this recipe on there, and I think I'm going to give it to my mom. So for our last project, you're going to need this little windmill that Dollar Tree is currently selling, and they're really cool. I have this little sign that came from St. Patrick's Day stuff at Dollar Tree, Waverly white chalk paint, Waverly truffle chalk paint, and then a black Sharpie. To begin, I'm just taking this little shamrock piece that's glittery, I'm tearing it right off of the signage, and I'm tossing it to the side. We can save it for another project for another day. And then I'm taking all the tags off of everything, taking the backing of the windmill off, like the little hanger on it, I'm taking it completely off. And then I'm also removing the jute cord that is currently on the signage off of it, and we'll put that back after we paint the sign. First things first, we're just going to go ahead and paint this completely white, and you can see I was running a little bit low, so don't judge me for, trying to get the paint out onto the sign. I do not let this white chalk paint fully dry. I let it be a little bit wet, and then I go ahead and take this same brush. You can see that I just kind of put a glob of this truffle paint directly onto my trash bag that I used to paint with. And I just go ahead and use the same brush that I used with the white to brush on the truffle paint as well. Now, as soon as your paint is dry, I just reattach the jute cord because, as you can see, the holes are still in this little sign, and so I just put the jute cord right back into it. And then I use a ruler to create some defined lines between each of the planks in this sign, just to make it look a little bit more farmhousey and make it look more like wood. Once I have those lines drawn on it, we're just going to hot glue the windmill sign directly to it. And the last thing that I'm doing is just writing Pennington's EST 2018. It's my last name, and then established 2018, the year that I got married. And then you can kind of see the final product here in just a few seconds. It ended up looking really cool. I thought that my little trivet cutting board was going to be my favorite project, but I think this one ended up being my favorite.
Thank you again so much for joining me tonight on my channel. If you're enjoying the content that I'm producing, please subscribe, hit the little notification bell so that way you'll be the first to get notified whenever I have new content available. I'm not sure if the next video is going to be a fun video or if it's going to be a craft video. I haven't really decided yet, but we'll just get there together. Bye.